I never thought I'd be telling this story. 3 years of marriage, gone in an instant. But I guess that's how life works sometimes. You think you know someone until you don't. Sarah and I met during our senior year at Northwestern. She was the ambitious marketing major. I was the steady accounting student. We clicked instantly, sharing dreams of building something together. After graduation, we both landed decent jobs in Chicago. She joined a tech startup downtown. I took a position at one of the big four accounting firms. We rented a modest house in Oak Park, nothing fancy. But it was ours, and we were happy. Every morning, we'd share coffee on our small porch, planning our future, dreaming about the house we'd buy. We were saving every penny we could, $175,000 in our joint accounts so far. Not bad for a couple of 30-year-olds in Chicago. That morning started like any other. Sarah was packing for what she called a game-changing opportunity, a month-long business trip to Paris. Her company was expanding into European markets, and she'd been chosen to lead the initiative. "This is huge, Alex," she said, meticulously folding her clothes. "If I nail this, we could be looking at a serious promotion." I watched her pack from our bedroom doorway. Something felt different about her lately. More driven, more focused on climbing the corporate ladder. "What's with the sudden ambition?" I asked playfully. She looked up, flashing that confident smile I fell for years ago. "Because I'm going to out-earn you soon, remember? We got a friendly competition going on, don't we?" I laughed it off as our usual banter. But there was an edge to her voice I hadn't noticed before. The next morning, I drove her to O'Hare. Terminal 5, international departures. She double-checked her passport for the 10th time. "Paris for a month," I said, trying to hide my envy. "Always been on our bucket list, hasn't it?" Sarah squeezed my hand. "I'll bring you back something special. Maybe a taste of French culture." We shared a long kiss goodbye. "Good luck with everything," I said. "Thanks, babe. Love you." One last warm smile, and she was gone. The first week went by in a quiet routine. Work kept me busy during the day. Evenings were filled with takeout and Netflix. Sarah's texts came sporadically, always about work, always brief. Another long day at the office. These Europeans really know how to negotiate. "Miss you, talk soon." By weekend, the house felt emptier than usual. I decided to do a big grocery run at Whole Foods. The fridge was looking sad without Sarah's healthy snacks. I was in the produce section when I heard a familiar voice. "Alex? Oh my God, is that you?" I looked up to see Jessica Chun, an old friend from college. She had that same bubbly energy I remembered. "Jess, what a surprise." I smiled. "How have you been?" "Great. Just got back from Cancun," she beamed. "Actually, funny are you? Ninging to you here. Are you back already?" I frowned, confused. "Back from where?" She tilted her head, looking puzzled. "Cancun. You know, with Sarah. I saw her there a few days ago with some guy. She said you were down there with friends." My smile froze. The fluorescent lights suddenly felt too bright. "Oh, right." I forced a laugh. "Work's been crazy since we got back." Jessica's face softened with concern. "Well, don't work too hard." It was nice seeing Sarah having fun, though. "Take care, Alex." She hurried off, leaving me standing there, holding a bag of organic apples that suddenly felt too heavy. My mind was spinning. Sarah was supposed to be in Paris, but Jessica saw her in Cancun with some guy. I barely remember checking out. The drive home was a blur. Every possible explanation ran through my head. Maybe Jessica was mistaken. Maybe it was someone who looked like Sarah. Maybe there was a quick business trip to Mexico. But deep down, I knew. The signs had been there. The late nights at work. The sudden ambition. The distance growing between us. Monday morning, I couldn't take it anymore. I needed answers. With shaking hands, I dialed her company's number. "Good morning, Tech Vision Solutions. How may I direct your call?" I deepened my voice, trying to sound professional. "Hi, I'm an old client of Sarah Thompson's. We lost touch, and I'm trying to reach her. Could you connect me?" The receptionist paused. "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Sarah's on personal leave right now. She'll be back in about 3 weeks." My heart stopped. "Personal leave?" "Yes," the receptionist continued cheerfully. "She's taking time off to care for her husband. Poor guy hurt his leg or something. Really thoughtful of her to take care of him. Would you like to leave a message?" I gripped my phone so tight my knuckles turned white. "No, no message. Thank you." I hung up, slumping back in my chair. The truth hit me like a freight train. Sarah wasn't in Paris. She wasn't on a business trip. She had told her office she was home with me, caring for my non-existent injury, while she was actually in Cancun with some guy. The perfect lie, perfectly executed, except for one chance encounter at Whole Foods. I felt sick to my stomach. 3 years of marriage, countless promises, all those morning coffees on the porch, the dreams we shared, the future we planned, all built on lies. My first instinct was to call her, to scream, to demand answers, to let out all the hurt and betrayal. But something held me back. Sarah was smart, always 3 steps ahead. If I confronted her now, she'd have time to spin more lies, to cover her tracks, to protect herself, and possibly take half of everything we'd saved. I took a deep breath, then another. "Think, Alex," I muttered to myself. The anger was still there, but now it was cold, calculated. She was going to pay for this. "Bull, on vacation?" Steve chuckled. "Yeah, he's been weird lately." Said something about a trip to Cancun with some girl he wouldn't talk about. The word Cancun hit me like a punch. My mind started racing. The timing, the secrecy, the tan. When was he in Cancun? I asked casually. "Last week, I think," Steve replied. Wouldn't shut up about this amazing woman, but got real quiet when we asked who she was. I felt sick. The pieces were falling into place. Sarah in Cancun, Mark in Cancun, same time, same place. No way it was coincidence. When Mark returned, I watched him closely. The nervous glances at his phone, the way he avoided eye contact. I needed proof. "Hey, Mark," I said suddenly. "Heard you were in Cancun. Got any good photos to share?" He nearly choked on his beer. Yeah, sure. Just tourist stuff, though. Nothing special." He pulled out his phone, unlocked it with shaking hands, started scrolling through photos. That's when I saw it. Just for a split second. A familiares might. Sarah's smile. In a beach photo he quickly scrolled past. "Actually," I said, reaching for his phone, "let me see those vacation tips." Thinking of planning a trip myself. Before he could react, I grabbed the phone, started scrolling through his gallery. And there it was, photo after photo. Sarah and Mark, on the beach, at restaurants, by the pool, cocktails at sunset, his arm around her waist, her head on his shoulder, both laughing, both betraying me. The guys noticed my silence, saw the change in my face. "Alex," Mike asked, "what's wrong?" Without a word, I turned the phone, showed them the photos. The booth went dead quiet. Mark's face went pale. I can explain," he stammered. "It's not what it looks like." But it was exactly what it looked like. I opened his messages, found the thread with Sarah. Months of secret conversations, late night texts, planning their getaway. While I was home, working, saving, trusting, I started forwarding everything to my phone. Photos, messages, all of it. "Alex, please," Mark begged. "We can talk about this." But the guys held him back, their faces hard with disgust. "We had a code," Steve growled. "Never mess with a friend's wife. But you did it anyway." I finished sending the evidence, tossed the phone back to Mark. "Thanks for the memories," I said coldly. The guys were already standing, ready to leave with me, leaving Mark alone, a traitor in an empty booth, outside in the cool Chicago night. Mike put a hand on my shoulder. "You okay, man?" I nodded. "Better than okay." I've got everything I need now. The proof was in my phone, clear as day. Sarah's perfect lie wasn't so perfect anymore. Monday morning, I called David. I've got the evidence, I said. Lots of it. Good, he replied. Let's end this. Time to set the final phase in motion. David's plan was already in motion. While Ra was still in Cancun with Mark, I'd been busy making arrangements, found new tenants for our rental house. A single mom named Rachel and her son Tommy. They needed a fresh start. I needed to send a message. The lease was signed and ready. Rachel would move in before Sarah returned. Everything was falling into place. I spent one last night in our house, packing my things, looking at old photos, remembering the life we'd built, now shattered by lies. The next morning, I moved out, left the divorce papers in Sarah's car, along with printed copies of every photo, every message between her and Mark. Then I waited. Sarah's return was exactly as I'd planned. I watched from my car across the street, saw her step out of the taxi, designer luggage in hand, Cancun tan still fresh. She walked to the front door, confusion crossing her face. When Rachel answered instead of me, I couldn't hear their conversation, but I could read Sarah's body language. The shock, the disbelief, the panic when she saw her car, found the divorce papers, saw the evidence, her perfect world crumbling. She tried calling me, again and again, but my number was blocked. Her texts went undelivered. Her emails bounced back. Complete radio silence. The next time I saw her was in court, 2 weeks after her return. She looked different, smaller somehow, less confident. Her lawyer tried to fight, claimed I'd abandoned her, argued for half of everything. Then David presented the evidence, photo after photo, message after message, the lies to her company, the secret vacation, the betrayal with Mark. The judge had seen enough. Sarah's claims crumbled, her demands dismissed. The savings stayed with me. Justice served cold. After the hearing, I heard Sarah lost her job. The company didn't appreciate being part of her elaborate lie. Mark faced his own consequences. Our friend group cut him off, his reputation in ruins. No one trusted him anymore. Their affair didn't last. The thrill was gone. Reality set in. They destroyed too much, lost too many people. Within months, they split up, both alone with their guilt. As for me, I moved to a new apartment, downtown Chicago, started fresh, the savings still intact, ready for my next chapter. Sometimes at night, I think about what happened, how quickly life can change, how well you think you know someone, until you don't. But I don't feel angry anymore, just grateful. Grateful I found out when I did. Grateful I kept my head. Grateful for true friends who stood by me, who helped me see the truth. The other day, I was at Whole Foods again, same produce section, where Jessica had spilled the truth. I smiled at the memory. How one chance encounter changed everything. A woman noticed my smile, asked what was so funny about the organic apples. We got coffee after shopping, talked for hours about everything and nothing. She's different from Sarah, more genuine, more real. We're taking things slow, no rush, no pressure, just honest conversations. And maybe, just maybe, that's what I needed all along. Someone real, someone true, someone who understands. That love isn't about competition, or secret getaways, or elaborate lies. It's about morning coffee, shared dreams, and simple truths. I'm not bitter about what happened. It taught me valuable lessons about trust, about friendship, about standing up for myself. Sarah and Mark's betrayal showed me who I really am. Someone stronger than I thought. Someone who won't be fooled twice. Someone who knows his worth. The savings I protected, still growing, still waiting for the right home. But this time, I'm in no hurry. Good things take time. Real things take time. And that's okay. because now I know. The best revenge isn't anger. It's living well. It's moving forward. It's finding peace in your own truth, in your own time, in your own way. And that's exactly what I'm doing, one day at a time.